now. It's a new day. Today we're doing three things. We playing connected, we playing clean, we playing convicted. Connected, play with your brothers. It ain't about you, it's about the man beside you. As a team, we eat. Play clean. It's about execution, doing your assignment. Fundamentals and technique. And play convicted. It's only one way you play this game. It's with your heart and your hair on fire. Let's turn it loose, dog. Hey, family on me. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome. Let's vibe out.
We know we're better than you. We don't give a if you know it or not. We don't give it if you give us your best game. We're going to give you our best game, and we're going to beat the out of you. How's that? Let's go get it.
They say it can't be done. They say we have no chance. Hey, let me tell you something. Any man can be beat on any day. You hear me? They ain't invincible.
This is Macho Talks Jets. Let's go, baby! Woo!
Sorry about that. We had a rainstorm, so there's some technical difficulties right now. But welcome to another episode of Macho Talks Jets. I'm your host, Miguel, a.k.a. Macho, and this is episode 7 to be exact. Today, we got a special guest. He just finished his show literally like 2-3 minutes ago. And I wanted to bring somebody in that was going to bring some shine. If you've been a Jets fan, you don't even have to be a Jets fan very long to know that we brought in this guy a couple of years ago that was kind of known for the darkness. You know what I mean? Kind of liked to retreat in it. He kind of molded by the darkness, right? I wanted to do something different because obviously when we got that guy, that didn't really work out. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get somebody with some shine. I wanted to get somebody with some ray of personality that is going to bring some hope to this team. That's going to bring some desire, some willpower. Allow me to introduce the host of the Nick Shine Show on YouTube, Mr. Nick Shine.
What's up, bro? Thank you for having me, man. It was a nice intro. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm glad to have you on. I mean, obviously, you've been killing it this summer of Nick Shine. Can you let us know a little bit about your show, please?
Yeah, we've had, Wesley Walker, Ken O'Brien, Connie Carberg, Wayne Corbett, Chad Cascadden. Tomorrow night, we have Super Bowl III champion Earl Christie coming on. We have promises from Mark Gastineau, Tony Richardson, and Marvin Jones to come on the program as well. So looking forward to not only having these legends on, but also an upgrade in football and performance from what we saw last year. So hopefully we can bring it all together with great guests and things to look forward to on the field, which would be something new in the YouTube world of not just me, a lot of people. None of us have done shows with a winning football team. There have been moments with winning records, but at the end of the year, it's like, oh, wow, we're 5 games under. We're 10 games under. Oh, this is awful. I don't want to be talking about draft picks by mid-October. I want to be talking about, well, we're going to, right? Because the Colts are going to be so bad. But I want to be looking forward to good football, getting better, being in the game, being in the hunt, fighting for a wild card. And then we add all these draft picks. It'll really be a meteoric rise for all of our shows because fans will flood to this format to hear all of us.
Absolutely. And of course, we got your producer extraordinary, Mr. Cisco Lopez, the Summer of Shine. I lost count there. What was that? About 12, 13 former Jets players, some Super Bowl champions, a little bit of everything.
Cisco, and he came on as producer. And the show's gone to another level. I love him like a brother. And, we talk more. I talk to him more than anyone else in life now through text or phone conversations. And we're always trying to figure out what's next. We're both pretty goal oriented and he's been tremendous. Oh, what's up, Amari? I got Amari. Yeah. And you know what? If I'm adding to guests, Amari's going to come on too. So we've talked about it in AC and I got to reach out to him and we're going to get him on the show as well. So a lot of good things going on here.
Absolutely. I was lucky enough to connect with him before my show, actually, and I should be having him on the 29th, it looks like.
Nice.
So in 2 weeks, we're gonna have the debut of Amari Brown, who just started his YouTube channel. So please go check him out. Just put out his first video, I believe yesterday. It was either yesterday or this morning. I lost track. I'm one of those people that don't get any sleep, so all my days kind of just go right into each other. But without further ado, obviously we had a preseason game yesterday. And that's kind of what I want the main topic to be. Obviously, you had a show today. You were talking about some of this stuff. I wasn't able to see the beginning of it. Were you able to show some of the clips of some of the stuff that happened today or yesterday?
I played every clip from David Bailey, and we broke
From
it
David
down.
Bailey.
And they utilized him in different ways. There was 2 plays where they did the same play call. They had Bailey line up outside the tackle, and they had him crash down into the B gap to consume the guard and the tackle. And they had Minka the first time loop around on a blitz, and then the second time was Brownlee. And Bailey held his own. On the second one, he drove the guard and the tackle back upfield, which made the quarterback step up and get him out of his spot. So he did good. There was a play with a handoff that went to the left, but Bailey was on the right side. And this is from the Madden view. I call that the
Right.
Madden view when it's behind the quarterback from the aerial
Yeah.
view. And Bailey did good. He stayed at home. We've seen Clemens and others bite hard on runs, and then the quarterback's got a nice easy trot out. Bailey stayed home, and then with his speed was able to close in and get in on the tackle, which was only like a 2-3 yard gain. But he showed a little patience. Some guys are too anxious to make a play. That's a little bit of a veteran savvy move from him.
Yeah, I was definitely excited to see him. Obviously, he was somebody that I was trying to focus in on. I'm sorry. Did you disappear? Are you still here? I definitely hear you, but I don't see you on the screen. Where'd you head off to? Give me 1 second. I got you. There it goes. All right. So, one of the plays that I have, because I kind of try to break it down to a bunch of different players. I didn't want to just focus in on one, but one of those plays was definitely, it's more the Will McDonald sack, but there was a couple of things that was happening on that play that I love to watch. So I wanted to break that down with you real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this one right here, right? This is the Will McDonald sack. Obviously, we got Bailey coming on the left side. We got Will McDonald on the right side. Who else is in there? We got David Amata and Harrison Phillips. I believe it's a 4-man rush right here.
Yep.
The way that Bailey took that cross, right, to kind of go around him, I feel like the guard did a good job with picking up Bailey, but Bailey didn't quit on the play, right?
Oh.
He kind of just kept pushing through. And even though he wasn't the one that created the actual sack, him pushing through with Harrison Phillips with his hands up makes the quarterback second guess, which leaves, obviously, Will McDonald to get that sack. But also, David Amata, because you kind of just brought it up with David Bailey with one of the other plays. David Amata was staying put this whole play. He could have also tried to put in some pressure, but he decided to stay put because he saw the 3 people already on him and kind of stayed in there, kind of like a man spy, quarterback spy right there, which was absolutely beautiful. Good.
Can you back that up a little bit to the beginning? Right after the snap.
So right after the snap.
So you have the right tackle there. You have the tight end. And also watch the running back. It's like all 3 of them are keeping an eye on Bailey. And that, look, right there.
Right there.
All of them, eyes are on Bailey.
Yep. 3 of
And
them.
then he swoops around. I don't know if that was instinct, if that was just, hey, let me do this, or if that was a called play. We won't know. But if that's instincts and you swoop down, I mean, you see, was it Anyamata's the lefty tackle there that's got the guard and the tackle in front of him? I don't know if that was instincts, if that was a read, or if that was a designed play call. But he was doubled a couple times, and if he's got the instincts to break off of that, that's pretty good too, man. He's going to be an exciting player to watch,
And this is his first preseason game, the first action of football since college, and he's coming in with some know-how. Like he knows what the hell he's doing, which is surprising. We shouldn't be so surprised. I mean, this is the number 2 overall pick, right? The first non-quarterback taken in this draft class. We should expect these type of things from him. Now with what you saw in that game, we'll focus on Bailey for this one. Do you feel like you feel confident in the pick already, or do you need to see a lot more?
I've loved it from night one. I'm
Okay.
full disclosure. Everyone who watches my show, and there's a couple of them here, I wanted Reese. I am not upset, disappointed, or bummed out that Bailey was the pick. I went on the show that Sunday night of draft weekend, or actually the next night. I did a draft night for night 2, and I said flat out, Bailey and Will McDonald will combine for over 20 sacks. The way they structured this D line, right? You sign Animata, you trade for Sweat, you get rid of JJ, you get to Mario Davis. You built your defense to the focal point is going to be stopping the run. Now you get rid of JJ, doesn't fit what you want to do, but also JJ is more of a power. It's not a speed rusher by design, right? He's not known for that. Right. You built this so you don't have 3rd and 4s anymore, 3rd and 3s. You want to have 3rd and 7 or longer, and you want your speed rushers going. This is everyone's been down on Will McDonald, and you watch me and you've heard me say this a dozen times. Will McDonald in games that the Jets were in late last year, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland, was impactful, was getting sacks in the 4th quarter. The problem was, Macho, that we didn't have many competitive 4th or even 3rd quarters last year. So Will McDonald's skill set, speed, wearing down the offensive linemen, and being able to get around them late in the game was never really given to him. So now you add the run defense in. Now you add longer 3rd downs. You see the Muji and Glenn plan for this defense. Stop the run, long 3rd downs, speed rushers getting home. So, yeah, I love this.
Yeah. Do you feel like the fact that he's, I don't want to say completely one-dimensional, but the fact that we have to be in certain situations for him to be effective, do you think that would be an issue throughout the season? Or do you feel like the fact that we're going to be more competitive, we feel like we should be more competitive this season, that he wouldn't be phased out of games due to his, I don't want to say lack of ability, but he definitely has a strong suit, right? And he has some weaknesses. Those weaknesses were him being completely phased out of games because we weren't competitive in those 3rd and 4th quarters. So now with us being more competitive, do you think that that's going to be more of a deficiency that we don't see as much, or do you think that still comes out throughout the season as well?
When you give up 5 touchdowns in the first half of the New England game and you were just out of the game early against Buffalo in week 2, and you have no offense in the month of December, and you set the record for the largest point differential on the bad side of that record in December, you're not in games, and you're not in intense moments, and you're not in pressure situations. Pass rushers need pressure situations to do what they do best, and when teams are just handing it off, quick little passes, dump offs, like let's just keep the clock running and get out of here because we're up by 3 scores or more, you neutralize a speed rusher. But now when you're down 20-16 and it's the 4th quarter and you got to go get a touchdown, that's when you see a lot of sacks happen, right? Late in the game, when you got to take the further shot downfield and the checkdowns don't work and you got to hold that ball a little more because you're trying to make something happen, that's when you see a lot of sacks. And let's not be foolish here. Fat bastards like Deion Dawkins are gonna wear out when the 4th quarter is there, and not just him. I'm taking a shot at him because he always takes
a good shot to
take.
take.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
Yeah,
he's in the next town over from me. He grew up in Rahway, so it's a little across town.
So we got the drop on him.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
He was doing a video where he's throwing up oiled up watermelons yesterday out on the street for people to catch outside of the barbershop. But I don't know how that popped up into my algorithm today, but it did. I guess a lot of local people liking it made it pop up into my algorithm. But that's what you need, right? You want your guys who are 6'4", 250, physically chiseled, wearing down the opposition who's 330, out of shape, will get tired. You just got to give them the opportunities. Having a lead will do that.
And especially, I feel like this year where I feel very confident in the depth of our defensive tackles. Obviously, with Sweat being injured and stuff like that, it's not off to a great start health-wise. But as far as just the depth of it, I love it. And then when you look at other places, there's certain places where the depth just absolutely scares me. But when we talk about the defensive line, the way that Bailey and Will McDonald will work in a tandem, as well as having the depth to wear down people like a Brian Dawkins and stuff. I'm not Brian Dawkins. That's special Weapon X. What's Fat Boy's name? Dion. That Fat Boy. I'm gonna just call him Fat Boy.
That's fine. I know who you
so
mean.
we're gonna wear down Fat Boy, being able to give him more looks, and then having those two edge rushers that one Bailey just had. Somebody said it in the chat. His motor is just nonstop. He's gonna absolutely completely keep going at you full stop, and then you got Will McDonald who got the speed that will be able to finish it. And hopefully, even if that doesn't lead to sacks, maybe that could lead to some interceptions. That leads to some bad passes with some pressure in their face.
Yeah.
So
pressure.
That's what
leads
I'm
to
hoping for.
mistakes. Pressure leads to mistakes, right? Either you're holding the ball, you don't read the defense the right way. We're jumping routes on the back end. We do some things with blitzes that confuse you. If I'm describing the Jets' defensive line, I'm going to say multifaceted. You got your run stuffers, you got your pass rushers. I was very adamant last year. I liked Briggs. But if Briggs is your best defensive lineman, you're 3-14. If Briggs is your fourth or fifth best defensive lineman, now you got a good group. And I think we got a good group. We got the guys, Sweat, Jackson, Animata, Kingsley, Osai. We got guys on the front who can stop the run. And then you go Briggs, Will, Bailey. You got guys who can rush the passer with speed, quickness. We saw Briggs beating guards time and time again last year after Quinnen left. Now, I'm not going to put him on Quinnen's level, but he, at times, made some Quinnen-like plays where you left him one-on-one and he beat you. So now, if you add pass rushing situations and you got Bailey and you got Will and you got Briggs, who are you going to double? More importantly, who are you not going to double? And you're going to see, guys, on the clip that you played with Bailey and Will, multiple guys were there for the sack.
Right. We had at least three in the backfield.
And this is the race I've been talking about of who's getting home. And you see, there's three of them right there that can make a play, right?
Actually, I think I got the other angle from it, the Madden angle.
Harrison Phillips creates he's bullying the lineman back as well.
He's double teamed and then still gets his hand up too, right there to make the quarterback second guess, which he didn't even have a place to throw it to. If you look at that defense is absolutely amazing across the board. Yeah. Everybody's covered. We got Davis playing zone right there in the middle to cut off anything in the middle. The cornerbacks on the outside completely covered. He had nowhere to go with this ball. And if he decided to scramble, thankfully, Animata was right there. He didn't overcommit to the pass rush because he knew we had three other people there. Let me play this little quarterback sneak just in case he does try to take off. I think that was perfect execution.
And that's what we need, right? Not only do we need the speed rushers and the pocket collapsers, but we need that coverage on the back end. And you see DeMario staying home in the middle of the field, and you saw the safety reading the quarterback, shading that way so you couldn't try to do an over-the-top pass. Phillips, if he doesn't jump, which, you see the quarterback, cock that elbow back, you get your hands up. That's what they teach you. You run those drills all the time. Quarterback's arms up, your arms go up, and he jumped a little bit, but he could have drove right through the quarterback and crushed them if he decided. But I like the pieces they're putting together up front. Now we have some questions on the back end, but if you can apply pressure, it's what came first, the chicken or the egg. Does coverage lead to sacks, or does sacks, help the secondary? I want to see the whole group be good. So I thought there was some good things. Again,
sure.
First preseason game. Again, let's not go to the moon with it. But for a lot of questions with the Aaron Glenn scheme and what are we going to see? If you have pressure, it makes everything easier for everybody. Not many defenses are built like the 09-10 Jets with the coverage is so good that Calvin Pace had time to get there. Calvin Pace wasn't making Revis great. You know what I'm saying? Like not many defenses are built like that, where we're going to put Revis and Cromartie on an island, and now we're going to have five guys to cover your other three. No, it's the pressure helps, man, and the pressure lead to really good things.
And I believe that year, even we had somebody else that had, I believe, 6 interceptions that year that wasn't Revis or Cromartie because we had so much pressure on the quarterback. We had so much great coverage around. Matter of fact,
was it Dwight? No, that's not Dwight Lowry, right? He was.
I'm not even. No. Nobody say it in the chat either because don't look it up. I do have something planned a little bit later. Okay. I have a what's more likely segment. I've done this with a couple of people now, but for you, I put a little twist on it.
All right. I like that. A tease, ladies and gentlemen. I like that.
I know you are someone that loves not only history questions, but specifically Jets history questions, right? You're somebody that always says, quiz me
I do.
when it comes to the Jets.
I do, because there's so much information and data out there in the world. I like it because it refreshes your memory. It refreshes your mind. It brings back old memories, great games, great moments.
Absolutely.
Some bad moments, which we have a lot of.
So let's go over a couple of more of these preseason clips, and then we'll get to that what's more likely. So
Let's do it.
Again, like you said, this is preseason. This is nothing that we're going to come out of this game and start throwing parades or nothing like that. But there are certain things that we're looking for from certain players. Will McDonald and Bailey were definitely one of those, two of those players where we were able to see that on that last play. And then for this play right here, this is somebody that I was paying very close attention to. Braylon Allen getting this touchdown here. What did you think about this play when you saw this?
I thought that was something we were going to see a lot of last year. You know, when we had ABT and Membu in the beginning of the season, I thought running off the right side was going to be our Michael Jordan fadeaway. I said it time and time again. So I know it wasn't the starting offensive line out there, but you see the play call, you see the commitment to the run, you see the tight end come across, make that block. I believe it's Ruckert.
Yep.
And then he takes out that, and now it's just running. And, you know, I've been very critical of Breece Hall that sometimes he dances too much in the backfield. He'll spin. You see Braylon, one cut and go. And I said earlier on my show that Braylon will have more explosive, which is 20 yards or more, you know, run plays than Breece will. You know, Breece might have more explosive plays and will in the passing game. But I think Braylon's ability to hit a hole and go full speed and not dance and give the defense time to close in and read where the run is going to, I think that we could see a lot of good things from Braylon Allen and a lot less opportunities.
And what was so refreshing to see, obviously, we know Braylon Allen. You've seen it in college. You've seen a little bit with the Jets, not as much as we would like. But as a big guy, he does still have some explosiveness to it. Is it to the level like a Breece Hall? Absolutely not. But for his size, he is absolutely fast as hell, right? So what I was happy to see was two things where you called it out with Jeremy Rucker, and I believe that was Tim Patrick that was on the other side of Jeremy Rucker that created that blocking scheme right here, where Jeremy Rucker originally came into the line. Nobody kind of really engaged with him. The guy went around him. So what he did was he kind of stopped, backpedaled, and then he was able to block that cornerback right there. Then you also see Tim Patrick absolutely dive into that defensive line to create that space.
Yeah, he drags the cornerback down. The cornerback is reading pass and stays with Patrick instead of staying stout and staying home and letting the play develop and come to him. And he's out of position, and Braylon takes advantage of it. And then, you know, there's a linebacker and a safety who he runs away from, you know, and it was nice to see Braylon make a play, and he missed the majority. He got hurt in week 3.
4.
Was it 4 last year? I was down in Miami, and I was down with Lou B for that game. And we had him returning kicks, and I was posting my Discord before. I was like, this is weird. Braylon Allen's returning kicks. And, you know, it was first, 4 to 6 weeks, and then it was 8 to 10, and then it was the season. So good for him. You know, he looks in great shape. He's massive. He was 10 feet in front of me on the sideline last night. And I hope good things for him, man, because that's a player. If you get that run game going and you get that commitment to the run and you have the quarterback and the weapons who can throw the ball downfield, and now everyone's eating, and when it's not 3 and out after 3 and out after 3 and out, and it's sustained drives and it's more opportunities, this could be a fun offense to watch. I really, truly believe that.
Yeah, that coming off of that injury and then adding more weight on top of that coming into this offseason, it scared me a little bit when it came to his speed. But seeing him being able to outrun those guys, I looked at their 40 times just to make sure they weren't slow. They're around 4.6, 4.5. So it's not like they're super fast, but they're also not super slow. Braylon Allen, for being as big as he is, coming off of the injury that he came off of, there was a sprain MCL. Sprain, I believe it was a sprain MCL.
The exact injury. I know it was the knee. I forget what the exact injury was.
So coming off of that and coming with all that extra weight, it made me really happy to know that he still has that speed, he still has that burst, and then like you said, he's a decisive runner. Let me get that one cut, see the hole, and then take it to the house. Now I did have 2 plays that weren't as great that I did want to bring up to you. One of them is also another running back. I think you're going to be familiar with this play here, where the turf monster kind of just takes control and does what it does.
Yeah. And it's funny that Breeze tweeted that out, turf
Yeah.
monster, a couple emojis, we need grass or get grass ASAP. But it was a brand new turf. And, this is the problem with it that if it's plastic, the green and the white, like not grass, but it's like
synthetic,
yeah,
type
the
of,
synthetic
yeah.
field. There was no rain, but you could see that this is the shit you have to deal with when it's fake.
Yeah, but it wasn't just Brees. Like obviously he has the clip. There was a lot of people slipping out there from both sides.
And
What the
how
hell?
beautiful is this image, though? Right?
Oh yeah,
The first
green
guy
grass.
misses. Yeah, and well, not grass, but I get what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
But
you're right.
how many times do we want to see Garrett and Brees, our two stars, out in the open field? Obviously, we don't like the ending of the play here, but that's for everyone criticizing Frank Reich. There are two play designs where Braylon Allen, wide open to the right, hits the home run, and now here, Brees Hall from 24 or 23 should have had a touchdown. Make one guy miss. So if you're criticizing Frank Reich schemes, there are two plays here where it should have been home runs.
Yeah.
So I think that the Frank Reich critics piped down a little bit because there was some home run opportunities here yesterday. One connected and one slipped.
Yeah, we definitely left some plays on the field. Thankfully, I feel like we did make enough plays to make up for it where I didn't feel bad about it, where last year it was a lot of missing plays and then not making up for it at all towards the end of it.
Yeah.
Now, the
and
one
that's the
last
big credibility that I've been talking about. Like we have so many home run hitters and we have so many guys you have to concern yourself with. That's going to create the opportunities and that's going to create the explosive plays, something this offense has greatly missed.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Now, one thing that I did see on offense, I don't know whose mistake it was, but I'm going to bring it up to you and ask you. I was trying to find an elegant way to say it, but I'm going to just ask you, what the fuck happened here?
Oh, man. I mean, this is one of those. I don't know if Klubnik had the wrong play design, if he thought it was a swing pass or if he thought it was a dive and he miscommunication or he called the play wrong or didn't know the play. Yeah, like running from the beginning.
Like they were confused as soon as the snap happened.
He thought Klubnik thinks the running back's coming across the front of him because he puts the ball out there for him to take.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone else is running the toss wide. So I don't know.
You see, once the ball gets in Cade's hands, Brees instantly jumps back. Like I feel like he thinks it's a screen pass. Now, what throws me off is we see a lot of people trying to get creative with some of these plays. You see the fake fall, quarterback fall throw type of play with Detroit and stuff like that. Do you think there's any chance that was designed?
No.
Absolutely no chance.
I think the rookie fucked up.
I'm almost hoping that it was a fuck up as opposed to a play design, because if that was a play design, that was absolutely disgusting. But what kind of
you kind of see it where I don't think you're running any sort of trickery with a rookie quarterback and your starters out there with the chance of getting blown up, right?
I would hope not. I would definitely hope not. And then we got a missed block.
And here's why it's not, right? Let's break it down a little more. Brees is instantaneously looking for the ball.
Yeah.
So there's no sell or trickery on it being something else. Brees is showing the entire defense, I'm looking for the ball. I'm looking for the ball. So I think it was a quick toss to the left, and Klubnik maybe just didn't execute it the right way. But thank God, Brees didn't get blown up here like Jackson Dart got blown up today on a missed block.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson completely whiffed this block here.
Yeah.
Just right past him. Which, I mean, it's hard to put it all on Garrett because obviously the play was kind of dead as soon as it started, but you hate to kind of see stuff like that. I want to know what Garrett was looking at in this. Wait, is that Garrett 15? That's not 15. Or is that 5? That's 15, actually. Oh, never mind. That's not Garrett. That's AD. So That's AD Mitchell that misses that block. I'm 24.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bad play
I
overall, right? These are the things that you run them in preseason, so you know if you can do it in the regular season. And some plays you scrap, and some plays you tweak, and you coach and you develop more, and others, yeah, I don't want to see that one again.
Yeah. And that's a main point of bringing it up. Like we're gonna see mistakes. We have to be careful with the type of mistakes because that could lead to a lot of different injuries right there. That could lead to a quarterback injury, running back injury. Like it scares me. It scares me. But the one last clip that I did have was basically to highlight the person that everybody's talking about, Mr. Bamba. I did have kind of like a whole highlight reel of him. But while that's playing, I just kind of want to get your thoughts on what you saw from him. Do you have any heightened expectations because of what you saw?
Expectations, no. But has he earned more opportunities against better competition? Yes. And that's what I want to see. I said earlier on the show that I felt like Aaron Glenn was calling the Tampa Bay offensive plays because he wanted to see him keep being tested. And Tampa Bay kept doing it. And he kept answering the call. And he had a really good performance. Again, not against starters. So, with Arian Smith, who is our other gunner on special teams across from Stiggers, being awful at catching the football, there's an opportunity for the other gunner position. Now, if he can take that role on, get on the roster, continue to develop, maybe some injuries, give him some playtime opportunity, and he starts making plays. Hey, I don't know if you Jets fans are aware of this, but we need playmakers in the secondary. So he made almost like a block snatch interception, which would have been that would have been a highlight. Like, yeah, he almost snatches it out.
Just took his lunch money on that one.
You're making the play on the ball time and time again. And I think that's something that Aaron Glenn will love. Now you're doing it against 2s and 3s. Do you get beat as you get elevated into a bigger role? Do you still keep making those plays on the ball? Is this a guy that can develop? Listen, I love when guys with no expectations in any form of life go and make the most out of their opportunity and just say, cut me and I'll come back to beat you. Or I've earned this job. Cut that guy because he got outplayed time and time again, day after day, and I wanted it more. So give it to the guy who's hungry. If he can get to that level, man, we'll root like hell for him. This is why I don't buy jerseys. I don't care about a player. I want this to be the best they could possibly be. And if you're going to help us be better, God bless you. Welcome to the Jets. Let's go.
Yeah, I think I'm in the phase of focusing more on retired Jets players when I buy jerseys now. I did just get a Garrett Wilson jersey because I know I won't regret that one. But still, I mean, we saw what happened with Sauce last year. We don't know how long these players will stick around with Muji here. He gets the right call. He's ready to make that move.
Yeah.
But now let's get into this what's more likely. And obviously we have some people, everyone in the chat, make sure to please like and subscribe on the video. Obviously we got my boy Nick Shine here. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to go over some situations with you. And everyone in the chat also chime in. Let me know what you think about this stuff. Now, the first question for you, and this is what's more likely, right? Not what you want to happen, what do you think out of these two situations is more likely? For this one, it's going to be Geno throws for over 4,007 yards or Garrett Wilson gets over 1,502 yards.
I'll go with Geno, and here's why.
What's that?
If Garrett gets 1,502, Geno threw for over 4,000. But Geno can also get it without Garrett getting to 1,502. So I think that everyone being well-rounded here on the offense, all the speed, all the weapons, the offensive line, the time to throw, all of the analytics that I'm looking at, Geno has the opportunity. If Geno plays all 17 games, he's in the record books. Just the way that this offense is structured and their playmaking ability. And, we saw all the analytics come out last year, time and time again, with how much time the quarterbacks had to throw and the ball didn't come out. The ball's coming out. So, and if you have the time to throw and the ball's coming out on time in rhythm, and you have all this play breaking ability, and you have a quarterback who, if he take the average of his last 4 years, is right around 68% completion percentage. Hey, guess what? That's going to lead to some big moments and some big games and some big numbers. Will it happen every week? No, Macho, it won't. But there might be games where he's pushing 350 or more because we're game breaking all over the field. And then there might be weeks where it's 190 because the offensive line is dominating in the run game. So I think if you look at 17 games, 4,007 yards. Now, the thing is, Geno plays all 17 games. He's healthy. The offensive line is healthy. But if he plays all 17 games, I think you're looking anywhere from 42 to 44 with what we have. Now, if Garrett goes for 1502, the first one's a given, right? Like, he's throwing for 4,000 yards if you have a guy going for 1,500.
So
I'll
this
take
is
Geno.
where the Jets trivia part comes in.
Okay.
I'm assuming you'll get this first part. Do you know why I picked 4,007
Yeah.
yards specifically?
I know both answers, yeah.
Okay, so I'll skip over the first one for the people that probably wouldn't know. 1502, who holds that record?
Brandon Marshall.
And what do you happen to know what year that was?
That was in 2015.
Beautiful. Now, in that year, unfortunately, what you did say was if he hits that number, that Geno would get that 4,007. Fitzpatrick was not able to hit that 4,000 mark on that year, even though we did get Brandon Marshall with that 1502. I think Eric Decker had crazy numbers that year as well. So there is a world where Garrett Wilson could hit that number where Geno doesn't. But to your point, I think it is also more likely that Geno hits that number just because of the amount of weapons that we have. The running backs that we have are also really good pass catchers. All three of them are really damn good. Is Brees the best out of the three as far as pass catching? Definitely. But if you've seen in college, and Isaiah Davis was able to show it in last year for us when he was able to step up a couple of times where he's able to catch the ball. I think we have a lot of multifaceted people on this offense. It's going to be hard for Geno not to hit that number other than, like you saying, health for him and also health for the offensive line. So for me, I would also pick Geno when it came to this one.
Yeah. And to go back to the Fitz thing, we were very top heavy in that offense. It was Marshall, it was Decker, it was Anunua.
Right.
Not many can name the tight ends. Not many can add, exactly. You got to think about it, right? Now, when you
Keller.
look at no, Keller
it wasn't Dustin Keller. Yeah.
No, Keller was gone by 15. It may have been like Safarian Jenkins. Like, it may have been one of those guys around that time with Fitzpatrick, right? The infamous fumble at the goal line. I think that may have been him, but I don't even recall exactly who it was. You look at this offense, you got a 1 and a 2, right? You got Taylor and Sadiq drafted very high. You got Brees. You got Cooper. You got Garrett.
First round pick.
Mitchell. Yeah.
First
you got
round
Isaiah
picks.
Williams. You got weapons everywhere. And now the days that you did stop Marshall, or Marshall was the only one going off, with Decker complimenting him, now who are you going to stop? So there's guys who can make explosive plays all over the field. And I think that Geno with 17 games, man, goes right past Joe Namath's record.
I'm hoping so too. I think Boy Green did state that was his kind of like hot take for the year, that he sees him breaking that record. And it's lining up perfectly for that. Now, for this next question, we're going to focus on pass catching and Brees. What's more likely? Brees rushes for 1,400 yards or more, or another weapon, whether that be a wide receiver, a tight end, or a running back, gets 100 or more targets. Garrett Wilson's not included. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. I figured that.
I didn't add that part. I just realized.
Right. Brees rushes for 14, or another weapon gets 100 targets. A weapon gets 100 targets.
And why is that?
It might be Brees. Because I think when you have
he almost did it before.
Yeah. And I think when you have, like I said, the key to this is sustainable drives, more offensive plays, more opportunities, and you have the weapons who can get downfield, and you're backing the safeties off, and you got the linebackers worrying about dropping and getting their depth so they don't get defeated up the seam. It opens up for a lot of swing passes, and what we got? Average of 7 a game, 7 targets a game would hit 100, right?
Yeah, I think so. Quick math.
68,
49, 70.
6
Yeah,
points,
since like
something?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
So
Yeah, and
you know,
very
it's
doable.
six and change. It's I think there's a world where Brees has some games where it's 10 or 12 targets, and there's others where it might be 3 or 4, but it averages out. If you're getting 6+ targets a game, you're gonna hit 100. So the targets, yeah, I think Brees gets anywhere from 70 to 80 catches. So yeah, I think the 100 targets is more likely than the 1,400, and all as collectively offensively, I think will be good running, but I do have some concerns with Brees as a runner, but not Brees as a weapon. So, and I
Really?
think Braylon Allen's productivity, yeah, the spins in the backfield drive me crazy. There's times you got to get the ball and you got to go hit the hole hard, and when you're
Like the one that he
spinning,
fell on.
yeah,
That was a decisive run, and he got all that
yeah,
green turf in front of him. But yeah,
yeah, he probably tried to spin. That's why he fell. But I'm very. It annoys me because I've taught football, I've coached football, and you hit the hole hard. So your momentum at the point of attack can sometimes carry you through and make a missed tackle happen. Now, when you spin in the backfield, sure, you make that guy miss. But all that did was allow the linebackers, the defense to close in on where you are. Sometimes you just got to go and that you could bounce off, deflect, and then you hit the open field. So I don't see Brees having as many explosive run plays as Braylon. So I will take the under on the 14. If Brees can get to 11 to 12, and then you have Braylon going for 5 or 6 on top of it, like, and now you're cooking with gas, and now you got a really good, well-rounded offense.
I think the weapon getting 100 targets or more is more likely. For me, I want to see Brees get close to that 14 because I think he's very capable. But I know he's just finally reached over 1,000. But for me, I feel like though he does have his deficiencies, like you say, he likes to dance in the background. He trips a lot. Unfortunately, that's another thing that it seems to stick with him. But as far as is he capable of getting 1,400 yards? That's an average of 82 rushing yards per game. I think he's way more than capable of doing that. And it's not like it's a number that's completely out of reach. I believe there's at least 3 or 4 people that hit that number last year. Now, those people that hit those numbers are on that topper tier. You're talking about Bijan, you're talking about Gibbs, you're talking about Jonathan Taylor, maybe Derrick Henry or something like that. Is Brees to that level? I'm not 100% sure, but as far as just the totality of the offense, how good the offensive line is, there's more weapons around him where the defense can't really focus in on him as much as they were. I think it just lines up perfectly for him. And I don't see a world where he shouldn't be able to hit that number.
Agreed. Agreed. I mean, it should be, you hope, right? You hope.
Yeah.
And you hope that it's healthy. If you were talking about that number being achieved, number one, you're probably winning games. You're not having to throw because you're not down by so many yards late in the game, and you're running the ball at will, and that means the offensive line is healthy, right? So, if any of these numbers are reached, like the 100 targets, all right, you're down, you're throwing more. If the 1,400 hits, it's like, you're dominating the time of possession. You're playing with a lead. You're running the ball. You're stat padding, essentially, right? Because you're running the ball late in games now instead of stat padding and throwing it. So you're running the ball. You're controlling the clock. You're playing Philadelphia Eagle football from a couple years ago. Your offensive line is just kicking ass, and you have a defense that's keeping you with a lead where you could still play your brand of football. And I think Frank Reich would commit to the running and
Oh, yeah.
really do well.
I think so too. Hank says, hit the hole hard. Nick stole that from Diana Rossini. I was waiting for one of those.
Well, Diana Rossini
got-
also nice.
I got you.
That's
I
awesome.
got you.
Well,
I was waiting. I
Diana
knew it would come up
Rossini-
eventually.
Diana Rossini's also used to stealing things too, including other people's husbands. So
There she goes.
yeah,
So-
that's it.
Now, my kind of Jets history question here. Who was the last Jet running back to rush for 1,400 yards?
To rush for 1,400. Oh man, did Thomas Jones get that or no? I know Curtis did it when he ran for 1,697. I'm just trying to remember if Jones hit 1,400 or not.
I will say we have 4 seasons of over 1,400 or more. I'm not going to
Two
say
of
who
them-
those people are, but
2 of them are by Curtis, right?
maybe.
one by Freeman McNeil, and I'll say yes, one by Thomas Jones. So I'll say Thomas Jones was the last one to do it.
So you're right. Thomas Jones was the last one to do it. In 2009, he had 1,402 yards.
Okay.
And Curtis Martin was the other three.
Three? Okay. I thought maybe
Other
Freeman
three.
got there once.
Yeah. Curtis Martin, man. He had
What was
1464.
Okay.
So he had 1464, 1511, and 1697. So almost 1,700 yards.
I
Man,
quote
Curtis
that
Martin.
1697 all the time. And he was, with that 1697, he was the oldest running back to ever lead the league in rushing at the time that he did it. I don't know if it's been passed since, but when he did that 1697, he was the oldest running back to lead the league in rushing.
I believe, was he also the... No, actually, no. Okay, I'm thinking of something else. So now the second part of this one was the 100+ targets. So in that scenario, there's two people with 100 or more targets. My question for you was, when was the last time we had two pass catchers, whether that be running back, tight end, wide receiver, that had 100 or more targets?
I'll go 2015 with Marshall and Decker.
Absolutely. So this is going to be absolutely hard. If you get this, you can have my show. Do you know the targets that they had?
Oh God, the exact number?
I'll give you a ballpark.
Oh wait, let me do this. It was still 16 games back then.
Right.
Marshall.
We know that he had. Where was it?
113 catches.
We know he had 1502 when it came to yards. I'm trying to see if I could give you some hints without trying to give it up.
I'm gonna go 147 targets for Marshall that year.
So that's actually closer to Decker. Decker was at 132. Marshall actually beat him by like, I want to say 40.
Oh, so Marshall was up at like 170,
178 that year.
So he got like 11 or 12 a game.
Now, do you envision a year like that for Garrett Wilson, to where we know Geno likes to target his best receiver?
Yeah.
Now
I easily see him getting 10 a game.
Yeah.
You know, I was at the first scrimmage or first practice, and the first two plays went to Garrett. And I am very big on feeding Garrett the ball. And I think when you have everybody else capable of getting open, and you want to sneak that safety and walk that safety up to the line, Geno's going to check, and we're going to just feed Garrett the ball. Garrett one-on-one, Garrett and Geno together for 17 games, you should be looking easily at 170 targets. It should be 10 targets a game. There'll be drives where he has 4. There'll be times where he might have 20 targets in a game and come down with 14 catches because they can't cover him. And he's that good. And now if you want to double him, all right, go ahead. Sadiq, Taylor, Mitchell, Cooper. Like, we have
naming them
choices, right?
Yeah.
Who do you want to take away? You know, I have an image on the show with Geno. It looks like the kicker in The Water Boy. Where's my bitch? Where's my bitch?
There he is.
Who do you want to take? Oh, you want to take him away? Okay,
Yeah.
bitch. Watch this. Like, we're going to go over here. So the fact that Muji has done a really good job of bringing weapons in, and it's going to help Garrett be Garrett, which is something we haven't seen.
Yeah.
You know, all roads lead to Garrett in this offense. You want to run the ball? You got to bring a safety up. You want to bring a safety up? Okay, Garrett, one-on-one. Oh, you want to stop the tight ends? Okay, Garrett, one-on-one. Oh, you want to worry about Mitchell going deep? All right, we can run Garrett in short routes. All roads lead to Garrett. And if you want to stop Garrett, we can beat you. And if you want to take other things away, you're playing to our strength, which is Garrett in the passing attack.
Love it. Love it. Let's move on to this next one, though. I got 5 in total. Actually, yeah, I got 5 in total. So a couple more after this. We have 2 players with 10 or more sacks.
Yes.
Or we have 2 players.
Yes.
Well, instantly. Yes. Okay, why is that?
Yes. Number one, I am big on Will and Bailey going for, I said draft weekend 25. I've lowered it to 20. Ooh. But Bailey and Will, with everything we're saying on the offense, leads to more pass rushing opportunities, leads to the game being played the way we want, leads to, hey, we have a lead. You need to score late. This is where sacks come in, right? You got to make the explosive plays happen, which leads to more opportunities, leads to offensive linemen getting tired and wearing down, plays to our strength, which will be stopping the run, rushing the passer. So I believe that one. Now, 2 players with 4? No. I would no.
You think there's no chance?
I don't think there's no chance. I think the
Okay,
sacks are more likely,
definitely.
right?
Okay.
Now, if we're getting the interceptions, the quarterbacks are getting rid of the ball quicker, so the chances for the sacks go down. So
And
like it's
that's
a give and take, right?
right.
So I'll take the 10 sacks because I think Will and Bailey could go for I think they're both going double digits. I do. So
And
that's my take. So I'm gonna align with my take, right? I'm not gonna stray away from it now.
And I could see a world where they get that 20, maybe even 25, but the split ends up being maybe Will McDonald 14 or 15 and then Bailey with 9 because I mean, we seen it in one of the clips. A lot of attention is going to be going Bailey's way. If they have to they have to pick who they want to stop on our defensive line, 9 times out of 10 they're probably going to look towards Bailey's side. So that may hinder him as far as getting to the quarterback as much as we would like him to, but as far as putting pressure on the quarterback, I think that's always going to be there, which we spoke about earlier can lead to more of those interceptions. And I think that the players that we have this year, a Minka Fitzpatrick, a D'Angelo Pons, a Nashawn Wright, people who like to attack the ball, not just defend. They're trying to get that interception, not just try to bat it down. I
I
can
would
see a
love it.
world where, yeah,
I would love if
yeah.
both happen,
Oh,
right? But I think in terms of Minka, uh, he's only got two interceptions in his last 41 games. So I think people need to lower the expectation with interceptions from him. I love the Ponds. My prediction for the opening game is our first defensive drive of the season. Bailey on third down gets a pressure, hits the elbow as Ward throws it, ball goes in the air, Ponds pick 6. And we already start calling this the greatest Jets draft class in our history. So I'm
oof.
going big with I think Ponds is a guy who can make plays. I don't know if anyone else is ready for that label.
Yeah. I think Pons and Nashawn Wright are probably the two when we're looking for interceptions. But with Minka Fitzpatrick, I feel like his position when he was with the Steelers was they started playing him a little bit differently towards the ending of his career. I feel like and I think he mentioned it in a couple of interviews to where he feels a lot more comfortable in the position that we're going to be playing with him in the scheme that we're going to have him in to where he could play a little more free to where maybe that leads to a couple. I'm not expecting him to be the one with the 4 interceptions, but I expect him to be a part of the creating the havoc, creating the you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think he's going to be definitely huge for us. But man, if what you say comes to fruition, best draft class ever. There's a draft
You
class that
hope,
I'm
right?
thinking of. Yeah, there's a draft
You
class
hope.
I'm thinking of that it's going to be hard to rival it. But
Yeah.
let's get into the questions here, right?
Yeah.
For Jets history, 2 players with more with 10 or more sacks. When was the last time we had 2 players with 10 or more sacks?
Klecko and Gastineau?
No,
No. More recent?
no.
All
It's a
right.
little more recent, yeah. Well, actually, a lot more recent than that, but
Mo
not very
Lewis,
recent from
John
today.
Abraham.
So Muhammad Wilkerson and Calvin Pace,
Oh, Pace to get
2013.
10? Okay.
That 10. I thought that when you said it earlier, I was like, oh damn, he's gonna get it now.
No, I don't remember Pace getting 10.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just got 10, and then Muhammad Wilkerson with 10 and a half. So they
my next
just reached
guess,
it.
my next guess would have been Quinnen and Huff the year the Huff got 10, but I guess Quinnen didn't do it that year.
Yeah, I think Quinnen had 8 or 9.
Yeah, he had the one year with double digits, and then the year he didn't. So that would have been my next guess. It would have taken me a while to get the Pace, to be completely honest with you.
So I actually, when I was coming up with the question, I wanted to originally put 11 or more sacks because I felt like 10 was pretty doable because I like both of these guys. I like our defense. I think that this is going to be doable. But when I put it to 11, when do you think was the last time we had 2 players with 11 or more sacks?
Klecko and Gastineau?
Exactly. And I felt like going back too far was going to hurt a little bit. So I wanted to give us something a little more
I'm
recent.
47, bro. I'm almost 48, right? So
So do you remember the amount of sacks they had?
22 for Gastineau, 16 for Klecko.
So I'm seeing, let me double check my notes because I see 20 and a half for Klecko and 20 for Gastineau.
Okay.
which sounds absolutely insane. I don't know if there's ever been another year where two players have reached 20 freaking sacks in the same season.
No.
2019 defensive stat.
There's not been many years where a player has reached 20.
Now, remind me if I'm wrong. Those were the same draft class, correct?
The
Flacco
same
and Gastineau?
draft?
Was that the same? Was that round 1 and round 2? Flacco and Gastineau?
No, Klecko came in 81. I think Gastineau was the 70s. 79. Yeah, Gastineau was 79. Klecko was 81. Yeah, so Gastineau had 20 in 81, 19 in 83, and 22 in 84. Wow. It's big numbers, man. If we can ever get that duplicated from somebody.
Just one. We just need one. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's Bailey, man. Hopefully that's Bailey.
Yeah, exactly. Hope to God that we have such success with Bailey and Will that we get to dig up and memorize these Klecko and Gastineau numbers, and we have the Rich Cimini tweets first time since, which I love.
Yeah. And then, of course, Mark Gastineau is going to be do you have a date for that one yet? Or not yet? For Mark Gastineau?
No.
To be on your show.
His wife texted me, let's do late September, October. And
okay.
I said, okay. I said to her, I go to Nashville for the game. I already put in my calendar. I'll reach out to Mark. And then she gave me Mark's number. And I said, let me get back from Nashville and I'll reach out then and see if we have a date. So it's on my calendar to-do list for that week once I return.
Okay. So let's move on to this next one.
Okay.
The defense as a totality has 13 or more interceptions, or we have just one player with at least 5 or more.
I'll take one player because the fact that we had 0 last year, to think now all of a sudden we're going to almost get 1 a game.
So 13 is actually league average. Let me throw that out.
Yeah, I know. But
yeah.
It's the Jets. So we have a tendency to live below the league average, Macho.
You didn't have to remind me.
Listen, I hope to God we get to the upper echelon, and
sure.
It changes games. It makes a lot of things, like especially wins, achievable. So I don't want the statistics. I want the wins, right? If we have 0 interceptions and we find ways to win 10 games, okay. But I don't want 20 interceptions and we're still losing games. So if the roads lead to victories, I'll take it. But the fact that you're going from 0, I think if as a team we get to 10, all right, now you're showing growth, right? Or even 8. Like if 8 or 9, if you're around 0.5 a game after being at 0.0 for the season, hey, you're showing progress. You got playmakers, you got young guys on the back end, you got AZ Thomas, you got Pons, you got guys who are in your pipeline, guys that you chose to be here. If those are the guys doing it, all right, now there's reason to believe in AG. There's reason to believe in a system. You're picking guys for your system who are making plays and developing in their first full years as starters. Okay. Now we're working with something here.
I love that. That's going to lead into the next question. But before we move on to that one, I wanted to ask you, do you know when was the last time we had a player with 5 or more interceptions?
Revis seems like the easy answer, and I don't think it would be Revis.
He's technically the right answer. There's 2 people that actually did it in the same year. Revis had 5. The other person had 6. Do you know the person that had 6?
It's Marcus Williams, right?
Marcus Williams. 2015.
2015? Okay.
Yeah. That seems to be
Marcus
a theme
had
here.
a lot of explosive plays.
Especially that year. If you looked at his stats that year,
yeah. How many pick sixes did he have? Multiple? For some reason, I always get him and Dwight Lowry confused because I felt like they both made impactful plays and had pick sixes.
And I think that year also Cromartie had like 4.
Yeah.
2015 was such a fucking year, man.
Yeah. If only Fitzpatrick knew how to throw to Jets in that final game in Buffalo. If Kimbrel Tompkins doesn't drop the pass and the 4 interceptions don't happen and they're completed to Jets, we were 5 passes away from the Namath record going down. Because he was throwing, the Cambrell Tompkins would have been, 70 yards or something like that? And Fitzpatrick, I think, was just over 3,900. I don't remember the exact number, like maybe 3,908. So he was 100 yards away from the record. And you get that 70-yarder from Tompkins, and then you get those 4 interceptions are caught by Jets. There goes the record book. The Jets are in the playoffs, and who knows what happens.
3,905.
3,905. Yeah, I knew he was right around 100 away. There. So, yeah, that game, man, I'll never forget that game. I was in Edison, New Jersey, at Chili's, and the kids were with me, and they were at the little
the kids.
Yeah, in 15. So Nick was 7, Sophia was 5, and
nice.
When we lost the game, they were both crying, and I put my arms around them, and I was like, "Guys, don't worry. I'm like, we'll be back next year. Like that, we're right on the verge of winning." And that's the last time we tasted winning.
Zappy's next job would be in the cesspool truck.
Yeah, I wouldn't even allow him in a pool. He would probably contaminate it.
So I wanted to go on to this last one, which is going to feel a little negative, right? But I'm bringing it up for a reason. Jets make the playoffs, or AG gets fired mid-season?
Playoffs.
Playoffs, and why is that?
I believe that my new friend, Woody Johnson, who took a great picture with me with Mikey Hulkhand's glove, punching
Shout
me.
Out.
Yeah. I believe that not just Woody, the Jets as an organization and a majority of our fan base want to see Aaron Glenn succeed. And I said to Woody yesterday, I said, you guys are finally building it the right way. And I know we live in a world where everyone wants instant gratification, but you're building it the right way. Don't panic. That was my message to him. So
that's a great message.
I think that AG gets fired mid-season. I think that we have enough talent here where we're competitive and we're in games and things are happening. And you see, people want wins. I get it. I do too, Macho. But you know what I want? I want to get to the point where we are Buffalo. We are Kansas City. We are Philadelphia. We are the Seahawks. We are the team that every year you take the Sharpie out and you're right, Jets, playoff team. If Jets are healthy, they're a playoff team. I want that. So I don't want the 2015 flash in a pan and then 11 years of disaster after it. I want this team built so that it can be sustainable year after year after year. So if it takes one more year of that, and next year you get your quarterback of the future with the Colts pick, mind you, and that's the best case scenario for this team, is that out of the 3 draft picks next year, ours is the worst. Yep. And in terms of the worst, we had the best year out of the Jets or the Colts, the Jets, and or the Cowboys, Packers. So it would be a dream to have the Colts with the top 3 pick, the Packers or the Cowboys are anywhere from 8 to 12, and then we're at like anywhere from 16 to 20. Which means you're competing for a playoff spot, and now you're adding 3 premium picks to that team with the $100+ million, and now you're ready to take flight.
Now, if we were to make the playoffs, what do you think would be our easiest way to make the playoffs? Do you think it's a wild card team, a scrappy wild card team, or do you think it's something where we just are very competitive within our division to the point where we end up winning it? Maybe the record isn't the greatest. Maybe it's a 9-8 or something like that, or a 10-7, but we have that tiebreaker against whoever it is that we're tied with, the Bills or something like that.
I'm very big on the Patriots coming back down to earth, and they had the weakest record or the weakest strength of schedule since '99 with the Rams. Sheesh. So I'm very big on last year. They had a cakewalk, and even when you look at their schedule, I'm not hating. I'm fairly assessing, right? Yes, there's teams that I hate, but when you're playing well, I tell you, you're playing well, and when shit's just going your way. Shit's just going your way. Like when you play the Chargers in the playoff game and they have neither one of their tackles and you blitz the entire time, shit's going to go your way, right? Like if you have Staley and you have Alt, now the Chargers can do what they want to do. You're not getting to the quarterback time and time again, and that game changes. And then you have the game with C.J. Stroud, who, if the coach had the balls to go to Davis Mills at halftime, they beat you. And what do you have? 6 turnovers in the game with fumbles and interceptions. It looks like the first time he ever stepped out in the cold, and he had no idea what it was. So, when they finally get to the championship. Bo Nix breaks his foot, winning the game in the divisional round.
Bro.
And then if the coach, the jerk off, Sean Payton, if he kicks the field goal to go up 2 scores early and was made aware that there's a blizzard coming in, that game's different. And then they never win that game. So it's just shit fell their way, man. And I can't see that happening again. I believe in karma and energy in the world. And you have your coach in the midst of a scandal and being embarrassing, which is weird that nobody wants to talk about, right? And now you bring in AJ Brown, who's already eye rolling with Drake May on the sideline this week. Like, there's too much negative energy being brought into that organization for them to have good karma in the world. F them and all things that say screw them. Take some L's.
Speaking of screw them, let's bring her up here. So the reason I want to ask this is because obviously these are 2 outcomes that, what's the best way to word it? I feel like are kind of like the extremes of the 2, right? If you are somebody that is believing in the Jets this year, you think that we're going to compete, you're hoping for the playoffs. If you're one of those pessimistic Jets fans, you are asking for AG to be fired. There's a lot of them that were asking since last year. Since this change of the offseason where you see the change in his demeanor, the way that he's handling the press, the way that he's handling the fans, you kind of see some of that turning more towards his way now, where people are jumping back on the bandwagon. With people jumping back on the bandwagon, we know people are fickle, right? Especially fans, especially Jets fans, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What would it take to get to this other extreme where you see AG gets fired midseason, somebody who started 0-7 last season? What would it take this season for Woody, your best friend now, Woody Johnson, to say, hey, it's time to go, no more hugs?
You're going to see a couple of those Patriot Buffalo games where 8 minutes into the game, everyone knows it's over. You're outmatched. Nothing works. You're outcoached. Your scheme wasn't right. You're being exploited on both sides of the ball, giving up 30 points a game, scoring 13. You're going to have to see incompetent football. I don't think we're going to. I think the talent pool is good enough. I think the coaching will be better. And I don't think that happens. I think that I would put on this 95% chance we make the playoffs and only 5% fired midseason. I think the talent's too good, man. And, if your pass rush is good, you have a chance. If your offensive line is good, you have a chance. And if your quarterback is completing 68% of his passes with these weapons, you have a chance. I'm very big on this team not just being in the graphic in the hunt, but week to week being in the hunt to win and being in games with 5 minutes left and 1 possession and who's going to make the play, them or us. Like, that's what I'm looking for. Not just being in the hunt in that graphic, being in the hunt to win every week.
I'm with you. And shout out Cisco. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Everybody that's in the chat, I hope you're enjoying this. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. We are going live every Saturday. This is the return with, of course, my boy Nick Shine here. I'm hoping that we have a great year. If it's not that good of a year as far as record wise, I'm not really expecting a great record. Do I want playoffs? Do I want all the Super Bowl every year if it's up to me? But to what you're saying, like, I want to be competing every single week. If we lose, but we're losing by 3 points and we still put up 27, 28 points on them or something like that, I can at least come away from that game knowing that we're going in the right direction. Am I going to be happy with the loss? Absolutely not. I want to beat everybody. But you look at some of these teams coming off of last season and the way that their season went. Like, if you look at like the Saints, they were 6-11, but coming off of that season into this season, they still have strong vibes because of the team that they built and the way that they played last year. So they were scrappy throughout the year. Even though they lost 11 games, they were in a lot of those 11 games. Their defense was strong. When it came to their offense, they actually only scored 6 more points than us. So I think we scored 300. They scored 306. Where that difference was that defense. So I don't think we're that far off from something like a Saints type season. If you look at something like maybe the Falcons or the Cowboys, where it's a 8-9, 7-10 type of season, those type of seasons are going to be okay with me. I'm not looking for the actual records. Just give me something where we are in every single game. We're competing competency. I want to see the progression from AG as well. We've seen it as far as being on interviews and stuff like that. I want to see the progression as far as on the field. Call timeouts at the right time. Get the field goals into the right range. You know where the hell we're kicking from and be able to take that kick. You know that last year where he doesn't even attempt the field goal, even though Nick Foles just hit his career high and stuff like that the week before. And it's just, if we're improving on that type of stuff, we're competing every single game. I'm going to try to treat this season almost like a preseason to where, because I don't expect that jump right away. I mean, it sounds pessimistic, but as being a Jets fan, we've had so much hope coming into off seasons just to then be like brought down.
Yeah.
Right. And the last year, I thought we'd be a lot more competitive than we were. Did I think we'd be a playoff team? No. But coming into the season, I felt pretty good about the team. And then instantly, it's like getting punched in the mouth. The way that we crumbled in week 1. And then from there, we just never really recovered until week 8 when we finally got a win. So show me some progression on all forms of the field, offense, defense, coaching specifically, and I would be okay with AG building this thing because, like you said, you want this built the right way. You want this to be sustainable. You don't want this to be a flash in the pan type of season. And AG and Muji, which Muji gets a lot of the credit, but both of them are building this together. I want to see both of them continue to see this through. They are the reason we got those 3 firsts this year. They're the reason we're in the position that we're currently in. Getting Geno for basically a 7th and a swap from Justin Fields. Like the moves that they made, the way that they identify talent in Harrison Phillips midseason. Jarvis Brownlee was big for us in certain spots midseason. AD Mitchell coming into this season with a lot of promise and stuff like that. I want to see these guys see it through for sure. And I'm just hoping for competency and competitiveness.
Agreed. You know, you make a lot of good points. One of the things that are deceptive about the Jets last year, they had a couple games over 30 points. You know, they put up 39 in Cincinnati. They put up 32 or 33 against Pittsburgh. You know, so they got over 70 points in 2 games. And then almost half of their games, 8, were 11 points or less. So
disgusting.
It's deceptive with, you know what I mean? They weren't putting up 17 a game. Most of the weeks, they weren't putting up 10. So, you know, it's be more consistent, play good football. And, you know, down the end of the year with Brady Cook, I mean, the last couple games were putrid, you know, some of the worst football we've ever seen. And we have a lot to choose from. So be more competitive, be in the games, right? Like we know 2 possessions into the game, we know, oh, fuck. Or, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like we're going to be able to tell. And I'm adamant that the answer to does Aaron Glenn keep his job doesn't lie in the wins. It lies in the losses. Are you in the game in 5 minutes left and it just doesn't go your way? Does your kick from 60 yards hit the crossbar and you lose? Or, you know, are you down by 4 scores? Is it 30-3? You know, is it embarrassing? You know, have you closed the gap on the rest of the league? Are you winning games that we think you should? Are you winning games that people think you're not going to? Those are some of the sub questions to the bigger question of does Aaron Glenn keep his job? Get better, be competitive, play some damn football we could be proud of, and give us a shot week after week. You know, that's it, man. Yeah,
I love it. We got 2 questions that I want to get to that from the chat here. Johnny Boy, question for the panel: if Vrabel gets fired and AG is let go, do we go after Vrabel?
No, I don't want
Absolutely
any trauma. I don't want any embarrassment. Like, I don't want that. If this Vrabel bullshit happened as the Jet coach, it would lead every sports show,
bro.
But now it's swept under the carpet. Like, no, I don't want any bullshit here. Like we got to learn that every time we go with bullshit, we get me. It's impossible to lower the bar here, but we find ways to do it.
Yeah,
And
I
I
would
don't
never
think
do it.
Vrabel gets fired because they were just off the Super Bowl. So that lining up, no. And if you're firing Glenn, you got to go get the brightest offensive mind that wants this job.
So that leads me to the next question, which he didn't phrase it as a question, but I will. If he was let go, are you accepting of KOC as that next coach?
I'm sure he'd be in the mix. I think if Kyler Murray is your starting quarterback, you are on the verge of being fired. So he would probably be available this offseason. Like if Glenn is gone, I think KOC is also gone,
Right.
and the fact that you had Sam Darnold in there and he threw over 40 touchdowns, and you're like, nah, we ain't going to sign you. We're going to go another route. Concerns me. I get it. It was an organizational thing, and you don't want to pay that dollar when you did draft a guy high, but there are some concerns. But I do like his scheme. I do like the offense. He's got some good weapons to work with. He knows how to get the ball downfield to Justin Jefferson, which we could use in the Garrett, that Garrett Wilson would fit that role very nicely. So, I mean, anybody who has experience with building a great offense is going to be in the mix if Aaron Glenn's gone. And we're not going to have to hunt. They're going to be coming to us with their resumes, and we are going to get to choose from the top-notch coach. All these weapons on offense, you have the ones, right? You got Garrett and Cooper are ones. Mitchell's a two. You got a 1 and a 2 at tight end. You got a 1-on-1 and a 2 on your offensive line. You got 3 ones coming up in the next draft. We're going to be able to pick whoever we want.
And
So
that's going to be
he'll be in the mix. Yeah, he'll definitely be in the mix.
that's going to be a position that we are not familiar with, where coaches are lining up to see, because typically it's the other way around, where they're just running from us and we get the last person that's like, all right, well, I need a coaching job. But hopefully we have a good enough season where we don't even really have to put any of this into fruition. Thank you so much for joining me, bro.
Yeah,
Again,
all right, thank you. Appreciate
before
it.
before I let you go, please give another plug in, man. Tell everybody these amazing things that you've been doing.
Yeah, check me out on Instagram, the Nick Shine Show, on X, Nick Shine Show, and of course on YouTube, the Nick Shine Show. That's home base. Sunday night, 7:00 is the flagship show, and we got a lot of good things going on. Go check out the homepage. We've had Wesley Walker, Ken O'Brien, Wayne Corbett, Connie Carberg, Chad Cascadin have been on. Tomorrow night, I will be joined by Super Bowl III champion Earl Christie. And we got Tony Richardson, Mark Gastineau, Marvin Jones in the mix. Producer Cisco Lopez is very adamant about keeping me on my toes and driving the show to be great. And we make a good pair. So happy to have him on board. And of course, love to Blitz BK for doing all the music on the channel. And yeah, we got a good team, man. And we got a big vision. And we keep saying that every connection that we get is just another link in the chain, right? It's great to accomplish things in life, but we're very goal oriented on, all right, that was cool. We can appreciate it, but it's like a game, right? You win a game on Sunday night, you celebrate it Monday morning. We got to look ahead at the film.
Back on the practice field.
Who's next? Exactly.
Yeah, shout out to Cisco. You guys make an amazing team. Macho, where's the Griffey? I don't got it yet. I got to make some space. My son's taking up all this space. He actually had stickers all over this that I had to take out before today's show. But I'll make sure that I keep at least one of his drawings up there. But when I take something down, I'll definitely have to put Griffey up. They've been telling me about getting this 24s. No, you get 30. Damn, how old am I? 92. So that's about to be 34 this year.
All right. So if you're getting another 24, it would have to be Ray Mickens, not Freeman McNeil. You're not old enough for the Freeman McNeil love.
I like the Ken Griffey love, though. Griffey's kind of my guy.
Griffey.
I like Griffey.
Griffey's my favorite player, non-Yankee.
Oh, so you're a Yankee fan?
I am.
Love it. Love it. We definitely got to talk Yankees one day. Quick shout out for Macho Talks Jets. Macho Talks Jets on the 29th, Omari Brown. On the 22nd, I don't have anyone lined up. Most likely I will be doing a solo show. But if I do end up picking up somebody, I will definitely let you guys know before then. For Macho Talks Sports, on September 3rd, I will be having UFC fighter Jeremy Stevens for about 15 to 30 minutes. I'm going to try to get him on the live. He likes more of a pre-recorded thing, but I'm gonna try to get him on the live so that everybody could try to throw questions at him and all that stuff. But we got some excited things going on here. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank
Yeah,
you,
man.
Nick. I appreciate you, man. Hell of an episode. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat. Remember to like and subscribe on the video. Macho Talks